Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Amoz, right?
It's your boy Moshe.
And we back, we better for Golden Street Speaks, episode 2. And we're going to be talking about something new. We're going to really be diving into balancing the work and the creative life. Before we jump into it, I want to open this up with a song from Psalms. You know, last time we did a prayer. I'm going to be reading a psalm from Psalms. Give me a second. Give me a minute. Where we at with it? Where we at?
This brother's unprepared.
There we go. Get thee behind me. Here we go. Psalms 82. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you should die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Just thought that was something that could really, go into like opening our minds with really just something, a powerful thought. We talked about, diving into our hot takes. My hot take really is this, that we all are gods. Look around you. Me, Moshe, we here in the Golden Street Underground Markets, people walking past. Everybody here is a god. But the Most High God, he the one that judges the gods. He judges all the gods of the world, of the nation. So we all gonna be judged by the Most High. It's not up for us to judge one another. We just gotta live in our purpose. Live and walk righteously. That's what's important. You feel me? So my hot take is to, really be you. Don't judge your brother or your sister. Let God do the judging. And just know that, you got a lot of power. Moses, God gave him the ability to split the Red Sea open. I believe that these things happen, and they will happen again. So it's more power in you than you think. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit your mind. You're capable of a lot. That's my hot take.
Yeah, so every episode, we're going to just dive into just giving, hot takes. And, I agree with Amoz, We all are gods. God made us in his image. So we all have the power to do something amazing on earth. Like the person that did my hair, I'm taking down my hair right now, live on this episode. So, the person that did my hair, she had the power to turn my nappy fro to 2-strand twists. You feel me? So even the person that constructed this microphone that we're using, like, they had the power to do that. So it's really just stepping into that form, that godly form that God blessed us with different talents and abilities. So it's really just embracing that, stepping into that, and really just understanding what you can bring to the world. Yeah.
And two, it's like with that knowledge and understanding, really remain there humble. Because I think sometimes people get that sort of knowledge, they discover that they're a God, and they allow their pride and ego to really destroy them, because even, You know, like the scripture said, you are gods, but you should die like men. You feel me? These bodies that we in, they not meant to last forever. Eventually, they gonna return to the dust. So we gotta understand that while we in this realm, in this reality that we living in, it's important for us to remain humble. You know what I'm saying? And to give our reverence to the Most High, to give our reverence to the Creator, the Almighty. You know, so in that understanding that you are a God, just know that the highest, he gonna be the one to judge the gods.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I got this one braid in my hair that's like refusing to untangle. But y'all see me, I got the half braid, half, fro look going right now. Hopefully by the end of this episode, I'm fully fro. But yeah, my hot take is really centered around the idea of weed, marijuana, the marijuana plant. Me and my brother, we was in Miami a couple weeks back, and we was at the Airbnb that we were staying at, and we had stepped out to light one up, put one up, and we sitting on the front porch of the Airbnb. Mind you, this Airbnb we staying in, we got a room inside the Airbnb. Like we didn't book the whole entire home. We just booked a room inside of it. So the people that live in the home, they're still there while we there. So we're on the porch smoking, and first the older woman, I believe that's the woman of the house, she came out and she asked us, when are we leaving? Like, what day are we leaving? We let her know we leaving tomorrow, the next day. And she was like, okay. She came back. She went back inside the house. Then a couple minutes later, her husband, he poked his head out and he was like, do I perceive a smell? And basically he was saying that he didn't want us to smoke by the house, because he was saying as Christians, he don't believe in, I guess, smoking marijuana. And that really it didn't blow me, but it kind of shocked me that he said as Christians, because, man, the fact that the weed plant comes from earth, God created this plant, Christian, Christ-like, what makes him believe that smoking weed is not Christ-like, So my hot take really is just having that confidence that that weed is not a drug, really. That's really my hot take. People may call it a drug, or think it's something we shouldn't do. It's not civil, but really it's really a part of life, really. No telling how long weed has been around. Of course, nowadays we intake it different ways. In the earlier ages, they probably weren't smoking it. No telling how they was intaking it. It probably was just in the atmosphere some way. They probably was walking through the forest and just no telling how the marijuana plant was being taken in back then. So that's probably not really a hot take to a lot of people, but to some it may be a hot take that weed is not a drug. But that's something that's really just been on my spirit recently. Just the seriousness people have over the plant, like as if it's something that's a criminal. It's very criminalized, and I feel like it shouldn't be. It's a lot of people that's locked up right now due to the plant. I feel like that's something that needs to change, because it's definitely people out there that overuse it, but I don't believe it. The plant makes someone, I don't know, because the certain regulations are necessary, but not to a point where someone should be looked at as unchristlike or put into jail for 10 years, you know. So yeah, that's my hot take.
It's a good take right there. I think, really anything can become a drug. You know what I'm saying? It could be a relationship. Your relationship can become a drug. Your love for a chocolate cake, might become a drug. Somebody be like, man, I need another slice of that cake. I need that whole cake. I need 10 of those cakes. And now it's to a point where that person can't get through the day without that cake. And I think anything that, to a point where we start to rely on it for our ability to navigate life, that thing can almost become a drug for you. But I think the term drug itself, me personally, I don't even like that word. I probably need to do a little more research. But I heard that the term drug didn't really come until, really be spoken until like the Nixon era. Or was that the Reagan era? The war on drugs, 80s. I think that was like in the 80s or something like that. That's when they really started to use that term. So when it comes down to a Christian, should a Christian partake in cannabis? I never read anything in the Bible that even mentions cannabis. You know what I'm saying? So the relationship between cannabis, even Jesus turned water into wine. You know what I'm saying? So in that, we can see that a lot of things that I kind of looked at as drugs or things that kind of take you out of, I don't know, bring you into a different state. Everybody got their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel that hot take, man. You got anything out there in the news you want to touch on, Mo?
Anything out there in the news that I want to touch on? Man. There's one story that I feel like caught my interest was the NBA player Josh Giddey. So basically, this NBA player Josh Giddey, some old videos had resurfaced of him with a underage woman or girl, and basically the NBA couldn't gather up enough evidence to suspend him or give him any type of repercussion. But it was literally different videos and pictures out there of him with this underage girl. And it kind of blew my mind because he's a white man. And I feel like if he was of another race,
Race?
the black race, dark race, I feel like the situation definitely would have been handled differently. Just thinking on how players like Kyrie Irving and John Morant, they had their different situations where, Kyrie, he had spoke out against the vaccine, and he had spoke out on the Negroes to Hebrews ordeal, and how they really went the extreme route to just give Kyrie those repercussions just based off those political or just life issues. Mm-hmm. He really just speaking out on those things just to bring awareness to those things, as Kyrie Irving, as, not Kyrie, the NBA player. Of course, that's a part of his, image, but him just being him as a person, he felt like it was necessary to speak out on these things because it's something that he has to deal with or something that he encounters within his life. And they kind of just like, NBA just kind of did him dirty, you know, because he just wanted to speak out on these things that really wasn't hurting anybody, you know. And Ja Morant, of course, Ja Morant, you know, he had a couple occasions where he, you know, flashed a gun on Instagram Live. And, you know, of course, those are mistakes that, you know, anybody can make. But, you know, when you make it more than once, it's definitely something has to happen to just make sure you realize how much of an impact you have on the youth. And I feel like, you know, the NBA definitely handled it in the way that they felt like they had to. But when you compare it to this Josh Giddey situation, I believe that the NBA didn't really put enough energy towards that, you know, really just trying to I feel like they put way more energy into really trying to figure out Kyrie and Ja Morant, what they was going through. But this Josh Giddey guy, they didn't really. I feel like they didn't really do much. Like Adam Silver said that it wasn't enough. They couldn't. They can't spend Josh Giddey on allegations alone. And when you think about it, what they did to Kyrie, it was like, man, was it just allegations, or it wasn't really allegations, but it was just all he did was post something on his Instagram story, and he was out for weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Or he didn't want to get vaccinated. He was out for weeks. So the fact that they saying they can't, and there's literally pictures of this guy with, you know, somebody that's underage. So
Were they in public?
were they in public? I didn't see the images, but I definitely just heard of the situation, and I felt like it was something that caught my attention. But, you know, it's just something to think about, really.
Yeah. But have they been talking about the situation like on ESPN or anything like that?
Nope. Well, they did. I feel like they have. They probably did mention it on ESPN, but they didn't give it the same energy they did Kyrie and Ja Morant, of course.
Yeah.
And I feel like the media definitely controls on how serious somebody like Adam Silver is going to respond to something like that. Because if the media is putting a lot of attention on it, then I feel like the NBA is going to be kind of pushed into a corner. Like, hey, we got to do something about it, because the NBA don't want to get canceled. Like, they trying to keep their supporters, you know.
Right.
But, you know, when it comes to a white man making a mistake or doing something that's, you know, not really right, nothing really happens.
That's my question. I don't know who this guy is. Is he like that on the court? Is he cold?
Yeah, he cold. He nice.
What team he play for?
The Thunder.
Thunder?
Yeah.
What's the Thunder's record right now?
They like second in the West.
They second in the West?
Yeah.
So was he starting five?
Yeah, he in the starting lineup.
He started lineup?
Mm-hmm. Australian guy.
He from Australia?
Yeah.
Maybe they got different, you know, laws in Australia.
They definitely said that. There's different laws in Australia.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Different laws in Australia. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I never really looked up the laws in Australia. I've been to Australia. I used to live in Australia. I lived in Australia for 5 months. So I was out there studying, you know what I'm saying, art and design, and really just, you know, exploring the world, you know, seeing something a little different for the first time. What's his name, Josh Giddey?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Josh Giddey when I was out there. Me and him didn't run into each other, nothing like that. The whole situation, I guess, you know, we talking about it over here at Golden Street. Josh Giddey, you might hear this podcast, Josh Giddey, and if you do, can you know, kind of fill us in on the laws out there in Australia? You know,
Definitely.
let us know what's going on. Kyrie might hear this podcast, and Kyrie, we stand for Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really like, you know, what Kyrie had to go through during that time, and we thought that, you know, they was kind of putting heaping coals on them, throwing stones at them for really expressing itself for being Kyrie, But I don't play for the NBA, but I did just start a job. That's my news take. I just started a job at the high school at the middle school that I graduated from, Rosa Parks Middle School, West Harvey Dixmoor, District 147. Right now I'm a substitute teacher at Rosa Parks. I'm there, every day, Monday through Friday. I just started this week. What's today? Today is it's December 24th right now. So I started a few days ago on Wednesday. I got an email waking up in the morning. It was like 7:30. They said if you can make it to the district office at 8:15, you can start today. So it was really like a movie for me. I had to make a spontaneous decision. I got there, and now I'm working with children. From 5th grade to 8th grade. So it's kind of interesting talking about the situation with Giddey, Kyrie. How does the employee? What's the employee's voice at their jobs? How much power does the job have over the employee? Right now we have, I don't know, the people down there at District 147 might hear this podcast and say, hey, Amoz, we heard your podcast. We heard y'all talking about marijuana and weed and cannabis. And, I don't know if that, I don't know how they might respond to it, But at the end of the day, it's like we artists, we expressing ourselves, we living life, we humans, And at the end of the day, we trying to figure out what's right or wrong. We know that the Most High God, He gonna be one to judge us, but in this world, we kind of walking this earth amongst men, amongst gods. We all kind of want to have that higher power. I asked some of the students in the class this past week, like, what is power? And one of the students, he shared with me that power is being able to have control over someone. Somebody else said power is your gift. So I'm getting like these different responses on what power is. And it's like I asked the students, like, do you want power? Some of the students said yes, some of the students said no. I think sometimes we kind of moving through this world, seeking power. And, when you got a league, you the NBA, whoever leader of that NBA, they want to hold on to that power because that power is allowing them to bring in the manyan, the manyan, the manyan. You think how much is it about the money when it comes down to the NBA? Kyrie situation, the situation.
Don't no organization want to lose money, NBA, Kyrie Irving, Nike, Jordan. So if they feel like somebody is going to affect their brand, they got to do something about it. They got to take some action, you feel me? Because they trying to hold on to that money,
Yeah.
So I feel like money is definitely plays a huge part of the NBA, just everything that's involved with, sports. Think about how much these players are getting paid, So I feel like, man, money definitely plays a huge role in just any huge corporation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about for you? Like, you've been working at the tower for some time now. Like, how does your relationship with money impact your longevity there at the tower?
Man, really just the needs and the wants and needs in life.
Mm-hmm.
Eating, being able to eat, being able to clothe myself, being able to, clean myself, keep up good hygiene, being able to pay my bills, phone bill, car note, different things I want and need in this life. And, having that income, knowing that, okay, if I go work 40, 80 hours every 2 weeks at the Willis Tower, I'm gonna get a check with this amount, that I can put towards these things. But, outside of that, I'm an artist. I act. I, make music. I plan events. I'm into fashion. I'm into, creating films and creating videos, just creating. I'm into just creating things. And, being a part of productions and being part of just the art world, anything art related. I love being a part of. That's what drives me. That's my passion. And really just using my 9 to 5 to fuel my passion. And once I'm charged up in that area, once I continue to work towards an opportunity that will eventually take me away from the 9 to 5, that's really just the goal, every day. Everywhere I am, I'm an artist, I'm a server of God, I'm Ira Moshe Wright, Even if I'm at the Willis Tower as a receptionist, I'm still an artist, that being there it's not like, okay, once I lay here, I'm an artist. No, I'm an artist while I'm there,
You in your art.
I'm in my art, I'm not stepping away from it just because I'm at work. Nah, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, outside of this, I'm that. Or outside of work, I'm that. I do this. I'm like, man, I do this at work. I do this outside of work.
Right.
You feel me? This is me. Like, this is me. I am an artist. I am, a creator. So, really just that's a perfect segue into my next news. So basically, it was an interview with Taraji P. Henson, and she was just expressing how, actors, a lot of actors in the industry don't really make as much as people probably think they do, just based on, once they get that check from being in this show, the different people they have to pay, taxes, lawyers, agents, managers, and the actor is not really left with the amount they really earned or deserve, And Keke Palmer had made a post on Instagram where she said the entertainment industry is just like any other industry. We run businesses to keep our brands afloat. Us being the brand/business, and it's that team of company members that decrease any assumed large lump sum. This includes monthly expenses, just like everyone else. In the words of Biggie, more money, more problems. I feel like that's really facts though, because the more money you get, the more problems that you may run into. Because I feel like the IRS is really one of those problems. Like right now, I'm not really making a lot of money where the IRS is just like on my ass, like where our money at, nigga? Where our money at? You feel me? It's like they not really on that with me for real, cause like, man, I'm not really making it a lot. They still on that with me. Like I still gotta make sure I pay my taxes. But if I'm making millions of dollars, every year, even thousands every year, they gonna make sure they get they cut. Uncle Sam gonna make sure he get his cut. I'm finna read the rest of this post.
For that 24 minutes, Kobe. All right, we back.
So the rest of the post says, she says, to make money, you must spend money. So what seems like a lot is taken by a lot. There is still privilege in this depending on what vantage point you are seeing from. But in our industry, amongst one another, this is neutralized. This is why no one can really have one job anymore. People working outside of the entertainment industry may do Uber Eats, Postmates, accountant part-time, substitute teacher every other week, etc. For an entertainment career, you may be like me, Kiki Palmer, an actor, influencer, host, singer, speaker, etc. I keep a job because I have to. Ha. We all work multiple jobs, and we may like some, but also because we have to. To be successful and live in America is literally this way because of the cash to expense ratio, and this is why entrepreneurship is so important, but that in itself is expensive. Having one job for anyone is not really an option no matter what industry unless you're like the top earner. And I mean, that's like Bill Gates and I suppose. I don't know because I can't relate. Haha. And she said, I am not complaining or comparing, but I acknowledge that we all have similar struggles in our industries, and it's because corporations run everything and they aren't people. And the post she was replying to was someone that by the name of Robin Thede was reacting to Taraji's video. And she said Taraji is telling the absolute truth. 70 to 80% of gross income is gone off top for taxes and commissions, agents, managers, lawyers, and for those who pay other employees as well. Baby, the math ain't mathing. And I know you're like 10 million minus 8 million is still 2 million. Yeah, that's true. However, 10 million is very rare. Most of your favorite black actresses make about 250,000 to 500,000 for starring in movies. So 50 to 100,000 net. And might only get one project a year. And that's crazy, really, because, like, man, me personally as an actor, like, I haven't really booked that role, that I really am striving for just for my personal resume, and just for my personal growth as an actor and just really my passion, my drive as an actor. And I've definitely done some projects that I'm proud of as, the short films me and my brother has done. That's something I'm really proud of. Plays that I've done in college, But since then, I haven't really have had an acting project that's like really had me inspired and really just going, like creatively. I'm just locked in. As far as just creating music, that's something that gets me, going. But outside of music, I'm really passionate about acting. That's something that really just gets me, lit, really. Like acting, it's like when the NBA players walk out and they dapping mugs up and, jumping up and D-Wade, he pulling on the rim, like handshake, different NBA, like that's that. When it comes to acting, that's me. Like before a show, before I go on stage, I'm lit. Like even just driving past the theater, I get lit. Like man, this is just something I'm really passionate about, and the fact that I can't do it all the time, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
So how does it feel now? Like recording this podcast, we downtown Chicago. We got a light. We literally have a light right here. We got a camera right here, and it's action. You know what I'm saying? Is this an acting opportunity? Right in this very moment, does this become an acting opportunity for you?
Definitely. Anytime I'm using my voice, it's not okay. Acting, maybe not, but just using my voice and being expressive, yeah. Because even this is something that gets me inspired and excited. Doing podcasts and the fact that I'm just sitting here taking down my hair while I'm on the podcast is like, why not?
Yeah.
That's just something it's exciting. So, yeah, just really. Let me read the rest of this post.
Okay.
So she says, now they have to pay social media managers because y'all would drag them if they don't have dope content. Stylists because y'all would drag them if they look busted. Hair/wigs because y'all would drag them if they look busted. Not to mention important like childcare. School for said kids, keeping a roof over their heads, somewhere they can feel safe with their family, away from paparazzi who invade their privacy. I know this life looks glamorous for someone look like her, Taraji, and I know there will be comments like 100K is a lot of money. It is. That's the rest of the post, but man, it's just really just the reason I do what I do is not to be famous, you know. It's really just for the love of the art, love of the craft, you know. Of course, you know, being an actor or any type of artist, you want people to see you. That's just a part of being an artist. Right. You want people to see you, you want people to know you, you know, and fame might come with it, but just the satisfaction of people seeing your art and seeing what you've created and what you've worked on is just satisfying at that, you know. And that is what I live. I live for those moments, you know, just being able to just be like I'm not when I can perform in front of a million people. Like I'm that guy. Like I'm fearless like that. Like I can step on stage for the million people and just be at home. Like this is home for me. Like and just go crazy. Like I love to perform. That's me. I love to perform. Like growing up, I wanted to be a WWE wrestler. Like watching them just be in that realm really kind of inspired me just to be a performer. You know, the fact that they was just hyped up, running into the ring. You know, jumping off the top turnbuckle like that. I'm like, man, only if I could do that. You know, only if I could just do that or something in that arena. And I feel like making music for me is that, like being able to eventually perform in front of a lot of people. That's a dream of mine, you know, just being lit. Cause that's really the type of life I want to live, just a lit life, just being lit every day, like lit. Of course, rest on the Sabbath, but outside of that, I'm lit. Like,
man, you know, I really resonating with a lot of what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm a respond to that being lit part because I'm the same way. It's like I want to always be lit. Sometimes I get caught up in my head and I'm like in a very contemplative state and I'm not really as lit in those moments. I'm more like just really reflecting, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I do what I do to be able to have fun constantly. Even, like, honestly, even on the Sabbath, like, I like to have fun. You know, I'm resting. I'm taking a break from, like, worldly things, worldly conversations. As much as I'm able to, the scriptures say, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So, you know, I don't want a day to come where I forget the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think in order for us to, as a people, to find that freedom, you know what I'm saying? It's important for us to remember the Sabbath. Like, that's one of the, you know, that's really one of the cheat codes in a sense, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to this art and this performance lifestyle, you know, I resonate with what you're saying where it's like, you know, it's not even really about the fame, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, in what we doing, you trying to reach the people. And I was thinking about this today, actually, on the way here. It's like, imagine something like the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's a book where this Bible is made to reach people. It's not to reach one person, 2, 3. This Bible is the word of God getting out to as many people as possible across generations, across time. You know what I'm saying? It's really no limit. And I think it's an art in it. When you consider the word of God, when you consider it being a book, it's like now, this is what I'm reading right now. Like, I'm currently reading the Bible, you know. And back in 2015, I met with a screenwriter that studied at DePaul just as I was, you know, starting my college journey. I studied at DePaul, and my degree initially was in screenwriting, you know, filmmaking with a concentration in screenwriting. And this screenwriter, what he told me, he said, hey, I believe that all screenwriters should always be reading a book, you know what I'm saying, just to keep your imagination going. So since then, I've always been reading a book. Like, I'm reading all kind of books, fictions, non-fictions. And it came to a point where I started to read the Bible. Really? My bad, y'all. Really just recently, man, I told myself, you know, I want to lock in and reading this Bible. I want to be so focused on it till I really don't want to read any other book. But it's been so captivating for me because I'm coming up with these alternate realities and these storylines and these films that are inspired by the world that I'm presently living in. And then I'm inspired by the Bible being a document of time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just considering like the stories that we able to tell, like I'm excited to really put forth, like create these different worlds. Like I'm a world builder, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down to the stories, like I started writing my first stories when I was in the second grade. I was writing short stories and poems. And I always saw myself, growing up with this guy, Moshe, I've always seen him as a performer, dancer, rapping. He talking about WWE. We was always in the house wrestling, you feel me? So I always want to be the guy that if I can help this guy perform on stage, I'm matching his energy a lot of times. Like now I want to be on stage. Now I want to perform. Now, I want to make music, and I'm influenced by so many creative people around me, you know what I'm saying? I got so many creative minds. My mom, you know what I'm saying? My brother Malachi, my friends, you know what I'm saying? My wife, child. It's so many people around me that's, living in this creative realm. We actually working on a movie right now called Holding Hands. You feel me? And it's like in that space, I'm able to work with Moshe, my wife, my child, in the space where we creating a movie. You know what I'm saying? We acting. And we all, like we hearing the Kiki Palmer's and Taraji's take on life when it come down to acting and, trying to take care of yourself. You got to take on these different jobs. So it's like we all working outside of just, creating the film. We got other jobs and other, areas in where we have to be in to make this money. You feel me? And honestly, for me, I just started this job at the school on Wednesday, and a lot of people, like, they telling me, like, man, congratulations, you know what I'm saying? Congrats on getting the job. Eventually, I'm going to end up being an art teacher at Rosa Parks, which I'm excited about, and I feel like God brought me there, you know what I'm saying? But it's really, I'm learning. I'm kind of facing my traumas in a sense, because when I was a student at Rosa Parks, that was a tough time for me. It was a lot of fighting going on. Before I even went to the school, they was telling me, like, it was so bad that I think a student died at Rosa Parks, And I'm hearing all these things before going to the school. And my first day at Rosa Parks, it was fights. It was at least 3 fights. That's what they said. They said somebody died at Rosa Parks. I don't know how. I can't remember how. But it scared me, you know what I'm saying? And now, I spent 3 years there, as a student, and now I'm back as a teacher. I didn't necessarily plan to come back here, you know what I'm saying? I had the idea at one point, actually, that I wanted to be a teacher because I felt we needed more black teachers in the school system. And I got the opportunity to be a mentor and tutor at Thornton Township, the high school I graduated from. And after that, I felt it was more important for me to just get out there in the world and create, because I didn't really feel that being in the school was where I was supposed to be at. And, things came full circle. I'm raising a family now, so it's like Kiki was saying on the post, it's like you gotta have these ends to take care of your family, to take care of your children, to take care of your life. You need this money, you feel me? And I'm trying to figure out, like, what's that pocket in which we can live the lives that we want to live without feeling like we giving up our freedom, you know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes, it feel like I'm giving up my freedom, you know what I'm saying, to be where I want to go. I don't know. It's like I really want to find that freedom. I think that's important for me. But it's all perspective, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm reminded every day, of my freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, an analogy that stands out to me is like you got a bird flying through an open field. That bird free flying through that open field. You got a bird flying through the city of Chicago. That bird free flying through the city of Chicago. Those buildings, can become the boundaries for the bird, and there's certain things that certain obstacles that the bird has to avoid to stay alive. And I think that's, a lot of times when we moving through life, you know, we got to understand our boundaries, you know what I'm saying, to stay alive. And, you know, as an artist, it's like our purpose is to, we leaving the world with something to remember, you know what I'm saying? While we here on this earth, and even once we gone, it's like we leaving generations and generations something to remember, something that grabs, you feel me? And I just want to keep creating, you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to be down here at the Golden Street Underground Market, you know what I'm saying? It's artwork down here, clothes. Like, I want to keep creating, you know what I'm saying? I need to create more, you feel me? How's it been for you, you know, stepping at the, being at the tower and, you know, stepping into, like, what would you say is that, like, I asked a few people this recently, what's that perfect 24-hour day for you, you know what I'm saying? As a creator, as an artist, as Moshe, like, if you say this is the perfect 24 hours from start to finish, you got that one in you? You got a perfect 24 hours?
Man, the perfect 24 hours for Moshe would be to wake up, put some time into just focusing on God, praying, meditating, getting my mind right. Then from there, just getting my body right, working out, getting a nice workout in, you know, real focused workout, you know, just aligning my body up, making sure, you know, I'm good on that end. Then from there, eating,
Yeah.
you know, getting a good meal in. Then after I get that meal in, freshening up, just making sure I'm fresh, you know, knocking off that sweat, knocking off that dirt, knocking off that stank from that sleep stank, that yesterday stank, just knocking it off, that workout stank. Just, you know, renewing myself. Then after that, from there, creating for the rest of the day,
Yeah.
making music, you know, going to rehearsal, you know, any rehearsal. It could be I could be rehearsing, walking a Balenciaga show, or rehearsing for this Broadway show I got, going on set, you know, my TV show or this movie, you know. Just really stepping into my full creative self, you know, and really reaping the benefits of that, you know. And if I'm not doing that, just going out hustling, you know, making some money however I can, you know. You know, I'm really willing to just hustle, you know. And right now, I want to step into a space where the money I'm making is through my creations, you know, it's through my art. And I'm not really putting so much time in putting much time into working for somebody else. And that's not a bad thing. Like, working for somebody else is not a bad thing, as long as you're still working towards your dreams and your goals and your aspirations and your purpose. So, you know, that's what I'm doing every day. You know, I could do better at just really focusing in on God and starting the days off right, you know, with prayer, meditation, and, you know, working out. I could do better at that because I fall short in many ways and just not really starting my days off right, you know. And, you know, every moment is a moment to grow. Like, I do my best in not dwelling on my shortcomings and the moments I fall short, because, you know, I'm happy just to be alive. And I know we have a merciful God, but at the same time, I don't want to take advantage of his mercy. You know, I don't want to just, okay, I fell short this moment, so God is merciful. I don't want to keep saying that, you know, because it's like, man, I have to work towards being a righteous man. And just being a man, I have to work towards that, you know, because there's things I want out of this life. And in order to receive those things, I have to put in the work to get those things. Like, I want to have a wife. I want to have my own home. I want to have these things, but in order to receive those things, I have to put in the work. Those things are not just going to come my way, and I can't really bring myself down when I just looking at my life now and I don't see those things. I can't, put myself in a dark space just because I don't have the things I want in life. Because every moment is a moment to grow, do better. And I go through things like just like everybody else. I go through sadness. I go through anxiety, depression, all these things. But at the same time, I go through happiness. I go through excitement. I go through fun moments. So it's really the highs and lows of life, and just really living in those moments, staying in the moment, and not letting anything take you out the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's real. I want to definitely say, man, you're doing a great job. You inspiring me. Just keep working. You know what I'm saying? Keep giving it everything you can on a daily basis. Keep, your 24 hours sound like a good 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you keep doing that, you're going to really find that, you're going to continue to find that joy in every moment. You know what I'm saying? From beginning to end, 24 hours for me is kind of, 24 hours for me is pretty similar. You know what I'm saying? Wake up. Thank God. When I wake up, I just say thank God, man. I'm grateful to be alive, get a prayer in, just connect with God. I really want to start finding myself in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Especially during those spring days, those summer days. Just tending to the garden, watering it, feeding it, harvesting, and really just learning more about life from the garden. Talking to the garden, talking with the garden, and being able to provide food for my family from this garden. I think that's gonna be a special moment for me. That's probably the start of the day for me. I think that'd be good. And then that's like a meditative practice. I might even get me a workout in while I'm tending to the garden. The way my brain works, sometimes I gotta be doing a lot of things at once. I'm still to this day learning how to focus. Like that's a daily challenge for me. It's like learning how to focus and learning how to focus in, even within my conversation, within my action, within my work. And I think tending to this garden is gonna be good for me. You know what I'm saying? Getting that workout in, eating, make sure the family is fed. And from there, I think it's gonna be a full-on just creative day, just creating. I want to have, be in the studio, painting, writing a script, working on some characters, animating. At some point, just really diving into this creative process. I think is important for me. You know what I'm saying? Being and just spending some time with the friends and family throughout the day as much as I can. Inviting ones I love into the studio with me to creating with the family. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important for me. And at some point, on this day, it might be a grand finale taking place. I might end up, being on the set. I might be on tour. You feel me? This tour might be coming to my city that night, and it's time to perform that night. You feel me? I imagine myself doing these shows to where as I'm performing my album, I'm performing with the people I love, and I'm painting. I'm doing live art. I'm heavily influenced by the Blue Man Group. You know what I'm saying? And seeing how they able to give so much to their performance. I got a chance to see Kendrick live. Kendrick had he was a ventriloquist. He had the dial. He dancing. It's really the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of energy I want to be able to bring to the world. You know what I'm saying? On these stages. And right now, this podcast is my stage. This underground market is my stage. You know what I'm saying? I'm using Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. This is my stage. You feel me? So as much as I'm able to give to y'all, man, y'all just buckle up. You feel me? We about to be on a ride. This is a journey, and y'all gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm enjoying it now. You feel me? I'm with this guy. I'm with Malachi. I'm with Raquel. I'm with Soraya. With Mom, Marguerite Wright, Pops, Malik Wright. You know what I'm saying? Moya, Ben, Leah, Latif, Greg. We got the whole Marquette, Mariah. I like to throw a shout out there every once in a while, just throughout the podcast. Like, I'm getting a lot of shout outs. You even if I don't mention your name on this episode, just know eventually, if you're not on the show with us, because we're gonna be interviewing folks, having more conversations. Man, you know what? One thing I want to speak on too before we hop off this episode is on the news tip. Man, one of our good friends, Ray, man, she had the opportunity to perform at the Museum of Science and Industry this week, and I gotta say that was like a dream. Like, let's clap it up for Ray. Let's clap it up for Ray. You know, and that really was a dream like moment for me. You know, because we pretty borderline. You know, grew up together, going to the same high school, being in that space, and to fast forward years down the line, and to be in the audience watching her perform at the museum was special. You know what I'm saying? And she collaborating with Social Works, you know what I'm saying, which is an organization Chance and a few others started. You know, Chance was on the same stage that same night, Chance the Rapper, and it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying, to see your friend glow up and constantly glow up, man, that's beautiful, man. So shout out to Ray, you know what I'm saying, for working. You know what I'm saying? She working hard. She dedicated a lot to her craft. She dedicated a lot to her life. She's very mindful. So I want to give her flowers and really thank you, Ray, for being an amazing friend to me, an amazing light in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to growing, and I look forward to collaborating and working with you. You know what I'm saying? I also want to give a special shout out to Sauce, the artist, who was on the stage as well that night. She came out of she's in Chicago now, and we got a chance to work with Sauce on a couple of occasions. She came down to the Underground Market, performed at Sketch Stage. That's our first time witnessing her talent, man. And she's an amazing singer. You know what I'm saying? And we was granted the opportunity to work with her as well, her and Ray, at the Back to School Festival this summer. And to see both of them perform, at the museum, it was a dream for me.
Yeah, it was amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was a dream. So I definitely want to just give y'all flowers, you know what I'm saying? Sauce, Ray, just keep creating, you know what I'm saying? Don't stop creating. Anybody that's out there in the world listening to this, that's an artist, that's a creative mind, keep creating. To the Golden Street community, the ambassadors, man, we see you. We see y'all working. Y'all doing some amazing things right now. And please just keep working, keep pulling us in, and we pulling y'all in. Like, we want to be able to, interview all the ambassadors. We want more ambassadors, you know what I'm saying? So we working on some huge things right now, and I'm grateful. I'm in a very grateful state right now, and I trust God that it's a lot coming, and he's preparing us for greatness, you know what I'm saying? He's preparing us for an abundance of love. And his spirit is in abundance, you know what I'm saying? Abundance is always, abundance is abundant. So we want to make sure that we're in the space of being in the abundance of righteousness, you know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm grateful, y'all. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful as well. I'm almost done taking my hair down, halfway there. I got a few braids left, and I'm grateful for this hair I got on my head, taking it down. I'm on the last few braids. I'm just grateful to be alive, man. Like, life is such a blessing. Being able just to have my arms, fingers, legs, voice, my hearing, my eyesight, just having those things is just a blessing. A home to go to, family, friends, those things are really a blessing. And, I'm just thankful to have those things, and, can't take anything for granted. Can't take life for granted. Sometimes we may be in certain situations where we just so eager to get out of, but at the same time we have to just embrace those moments and just live in the moment, So that's really the message I want to leave the listeners with and the viewers. Just embrace everything. Live in the moment, and your time is definitely coming. Definitely coming.
I'm a back that message, you know what I'm saying? Continue to live in the moment. We talking about balancing the work and art life. And like Moshe said, when we at work, we still artists. So use your work environment as inspiration for your artistry. Create while you're at work. I keep a sketchbook. I'm sketching at work. I'm talking with my coworkers about art. I'm talking with the students about art. I've been subbing, I subbed the math class and I subbed a band class, 2 band classes, in the past 3 days. Going into the new year, the hope is to become the art teacher, So in that, I'm going to be constantly creating. Thank God for that, you feel me? But regardless of where you at in life right now, find a way to, be inspired in the space that you in. Because some of the greatest movies I watch, is like, it's some sort of struggle taking place, you feel me? And to be able to overcome that struggle, that's that beauty. It's a beauty in that, you feel me? And I'm reading the Bible right now, beginning to end. We began at the Tree of Life. And, by the time you get to the book of Revelation, you're going to finish at the Tree of Life as well. So God going to lead us in the right direction. We just got to continue to keep him first, Continue to study, continue to pray, continue to find a reason to be thankful, And when Satan is on your back and he in your ear talking that smack, just tell him to get behind you, Tell him to get out the way. See, I lock Satan in the cage. I say, hey, Satan, I'm locking you up. I put him in jail. You bound up for 1,000 years. I don't want to hear another word from you. So a lot of times, by the time he locked up and I threw the key away, I'm not hearing much from him. So I get that advice to anybody, Find a way to just lock Satan up, put him in a cage, throw him in a jail, throw him in a pit, bury it, Tell him to, shh. My hot take to end the episode off, I think give us by a few years, probably in our lifetime, man, killing is going to come to an end amongst our people. We're going to step into peace. We're going to step into true love. That's the prophecy that I'm leaning into. And I'm finding myself, enjoying life even more, just knowing that there's some good things to come. It's a new beginning coming. God's kingdom is here. And I want to use my voice and my life as an example to help those navigate to the kingdom, So that's what Golden Street is. It's a reminder of the kingdom. I thank y'all, man, for tuning in, for listening. Golden Street Speaks, episode 2. Balancing the work and art life. It's a day-to-day, It's your boy Amoz. I'm right here with...
It's your boy Moshe, man. Stay up out there, y'all. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.